Broadcasting Company presents Eyes Aloft.
Army flash. 1, multi-motor, high, scene, 18 Gabriel 4, overhead, northwest.
Rise along, under the sky, watching the planes flying the lanes up above. Rise along.
Eyes Aloft. The 4th Fighter Command of the United States Army Air Forces, in cooperation with West Coast radio stations, presents this series of programs honoring the 150,000 volunteer observers and filter center workers whose round-the-clock vigilance keeps watchful guard of the Pacific Coast against attack by enemy planes.
Eyes aloft, night and day,
23 hours,
our USA.
Ken Carpenter speaking. Tonight, the 8th edition of Eyes Aloft includes the great American story of loyalty. You'll hear the Gordon Jenkins Orchestra and the Sportsmen in a musical salute to the Navy. The presentation of the weekly Gold Trophy Award. True stories of observers and filter center workers. And here is your popular Eyes Aloft narrator to take over the shift, Jane Whitman.
At the tone, Eastern Daylight Time, 23 hours, 1 minute, 45 seconds.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
3 hours.
Let me ask you something.
1 minute.
How would you describe loyalty? Well, just take a second and try to answer that in your own mind.
At the tone, Eastern Daylight Time, 23 hours, 2 minutes, exactly. Universal Time,
Well,
3
friends,
hours, 2
here
minutes,
is the way one
5
man
seconds.
interpreted loyalty. His name was
US
Robert Rake.
Naval Observatory,
Robert Rake lived on a farm
At the tone,
a few miles out of
Eastern Daylight
McMinnville,
Time,
Oregon.
23 hours,
It was a good
2
farm in
minutes,
the heart of the
15
fertile Willamette
seconds.
Valley.
Universal
On the Rake
Time,
farm, there were
3
grain
hours,
and hay
2
and
minutes,
also livestock.
20 seconds.
All that meant work. One Saturday night last
Observatory
January,
Master
Robert Rake's
Clock.
farmhand
At
came
the
to him.
tone, Eastern
Well,
Daylight
Mr. Rake,
Time,
I'm
23
leaving you
hours,
tonight.
2 minutes,
You all
30
right, Jim?
seconds.
I hope you'll be able to pick up
Universal
some other
Time,
hired help
3
in
hours,
town right away.
2 minutes,
You need at least one
35
other man to help you run this place.
Yes, I know,
US
Jim.
Naval Observatory,
You know, it's hard to
Master
get farm help now.
At the tone,
Men are going to
Eastern
Portland and
Daylight
Vancouver
Time,
to work in the
23
shipyards.
hours, 2 minutes,
That's where I'm heading
45
for.
seconds.
Make some money for a
Universal
change.
Time,
Well,
3
I
hours,
suppose I can't
2
say
minutes, 50
Jim,
seconds.
I wonder if you could sort of stay on
US
for
Naval
one more
Observatory,
week.
Master
I mean,
Clock.
till I
At
hire
the
me a new
tone,
man.
Eastern
When I
Daylight
make up my
Time,
mind to
23
do
hours,
something,
3 minutes,
I better do it,
exactly.
Mr. Rake. I wouldn't be much good
Universal
working
Time,
for you another
3
week. I'd
hours,
be itching to get
3
into the
minutes,
city.
5 seconds.
Well, you see, Jim,
U.S. Naval
I haven't
Observatory,
exactly
Master
been
Clock.
feeling well lately.
At the
I
tone,
noticed the other
Eastern
day when we
Daylight
were
Time,
moving that hay
23
around the
hours,
barn,
3
you
minutes,
kind of got worn out
15
awful
seconds.
fast.
Yes,
Universal
it's my-
Time, 3
No,
hours,
never mind.
3 minutes, 20
I'll
seconds.
make out here some way. Well, come
U.S.
on up to the
Naval
house and I'll
Observatory,
pay you
Master
wages
Clock.
today.
At the tone, Eastern Daylight Time, 3 minutes, 30 seconds. Universal Time, 3 hours, 3 minutes.
Well, I'm much
35
obliged.
seconds.
It's been a pleasure working for you.
U.S.
And
Naval Observatory,
Mrs. Rake, you
Master
sure put out good meals.
At the tone,
sorry to have
Eastern
you leave,
Daylight
Jim.
Time.
Hey, he's going to
23
work in the
hours,
shipyards
3
in
minutes,
Portland.
45
I don't know
seconds.
who's going to run the farm
Universal
pretty
Time.
soon.
Well,
3 hours,
I'm going to go.
3
I'm
minutes,
going to thumb my
50
way into the
seconds.
city. Oh, and
U.S. Naval
Mr. Rake,
Observatory,
Yes, Jim?
Master Clock. At the
you better
tone,
take it kind of
Eastern
easy.
Daylight Time.
Don't work too
23
hard.
hours,
Yeah, he
4
does
minutes.
have to be careful.
Exactly.
I've been telling him.
Universal
now he
Time,
has more
3
work
hours,
piled on him.
4 minutes.
Now, I'll be
5
all right.
seconds.
So long, Jim. Drop in and
U.S.
say hello
Naval
if you ever come
Observatory,
through this
Master
way.
Clock.
Thanks, I will.
At the tone, Eastern
Bye,
Daylight Time. 23 hours, 4 minutes.
Oh, dear, this
15
just
seconds.
seems like the last
Universal
straw.
Time,
I hate to ask
3
you,
hours,
Minnie, but
4
till I can get
minutes,
somebody,
20
you
seconds.
might have to help me with the chores.
U.S.
Well,
Naval
hell, but
Observatory,
we have to
Master
hire
Clock.
somebody right
At
away
the
for the
tone,
real heavy
Eastern
work.
Daylight Time.
You can't do
23
it.
hours, 4 minutes.
Bob, I want you to
30
go
seconds.
see the doctor tomorrow.
Oh,
Universal
I've been
Time,
in
3
danger.
hours, 4 minutes.
Anyway, I
35
won't have time
seconds.
for a few days.
Well,
U.S.
one
Naval
thing
Observatory,
sure, you're going to have to
Master
drop those night
At the
watches at
tone,
the observation
Eastern
post,
Daylight
Bob.
Time. 23
Now, I
hours,
insist on
4
that.
minutes.
No, Minnie, I
45
can't
seconds.
stop that.
Universal
We're part of the
Time,
community.
3 hours,
and
4
we have to
minutes,
accept our
50
share of the
seconds.
responsibility.
Well, all I can
U.S.
say is
Naval
plenty of people
Observatory,
around aren't
Master
given
Clock.
any help.
At the tone,
You could lay off
Eastern
temporarily,
Daylight
at
Time.
least.
23 hours,
You're
5
going to need
minutes.
rest. And
Exactly.
sleep night.
Minnie,
Universal
I'm
Time,
going to keep
3
right on
hours,
with that
5
observation
minutes,
post.
5
They
seconds.
lead me there.
Robert Rake's wife did persuade him to see his doctor. When the doctor learned of all the work and the long hours that Mr. Rake was putting in, and after an examination, he served an ultimatum.
Mr. Rake, let's face this thing squarely. Yeah, I've faced the situation. But what can a fella do if he can't hire help?
Which is more important, keeping up your farm or going on living?
Yeah, but if I don't keep my farm operating, what will I live on?
I don't like the sound of your heart today, Mr. Rake. You need rest. Plenty of it. You can't keep up at this pace. Now, I don't want to unduly alarm you, but I'm very serious about the warning I'm giving you. We're just going to have to take it easy.
Well, I'll watch out, Doctor. I'll try to take it a little easier.
But Robert Rake kept on going. January passed, and February. On the night of March 5th, Robert Rake got up from a short sleep, dressed, and got himself ready to go over to the Carlton observation post to take his regular midnight to 7 a.m. watch. He left Mrs. Rake sleeping. Outside of the house, he heard the cattle down at the corral, restless. He went down.
Yeah, must have been a bobcat sneaking around, making them nervous. I see that all these bars and the gate are up solid.
Bob, is that you?
What? Minnie, I thought you were up to the house asleep. What you come down for? It's cold tonight.
Bob, what are you doing?
When I come out, the cattle sounded nervous. Came down to look around. Must have been a cat or something.
Now, Bob, let me go take your watch at the post tonight.
Why, of course not, Minnie. You go on now and get back up to the house and get to bed.
Oh, you never stop work anymore. I'm so worried lately.
Well, now, don't. Now, you get on inside. You just got on your slippers and the ground's cold and wet. You'll catch pneumonia.
Don't you worry about me. Bob, you only got about 2 hours sleep tonight. I wish you'd let me go take your watch, please.
No, Minnie, honey, thanks. It's something I always want to keep doing as long as the little post keeps running. I mean, well, it's just the way I feel about it. Now, you run along. I'll take the car and drive on over to the post. See you in the morning about 7:15.
Yes, Bob.
Good night, honey.
Good night, Bob. Good night.
On the night of March 5th, Robert Rake arrived at the Carlton observation post a few minutes to midnight. He took over, and the other observer went home. He settled himself to pass the night, to listen, wait, watch for the approach of any plane that might pass over his post. 1 o'clock. 2 o'clock. And then, at about 23 minutes after 2 that morning, the weary heart of Robert Rake stopped beating. The angel of God came and took him to guard another post, a heavenly post on high. Funeral arrangements had to be made. Mr. L.H. Klein, chairman of the Yamhill County Aircraft Warning Service, long-distance 4th Fighter Command Headquarters in Portland, talked with Lieutenant Robert Clark, ground observation officer of that area.
Lieutenant Clark?
Clark speaking.
This is Lou Klein down in McMinnville. I have some unfortunate news, Lieutenant.
Oh? What's that, Lou?
One of our most loyal observers passed away last night while standing guard at the Carlton Post.
Oh, no. Who was it?
Robert Rake. Heart gave out. It was just a case of overwork. Some of our observers tried to get him to take a layoff, but, well, he wouldn't.
So he died on duty, just like any true soldier.
Yes, Lieutenant. I called to ask if it isn't too much, do you suppose the Army could provide a guard of honor for the funeral?
Give me the day and hour, and I'll have officers and soldiers there to dip the colors, Louis. Robert Rake has been a part of the Army protecting this country. He's entitled to the last rites of the Army. Yes, a military guard will be there.
afternoon of March 7th, 1942. A drizzle of Oregon mist fell on the bowed heads of several hundred friends out at the cemetery. There, beside the grave, as the casket lowered, an Army color guard slowly dipped the stars and stripes, the flag of the country that Robert Rake had loved and had served to his end. Robert Rake had been a living symbol of loyalty. May his life inspire others to dutifully carry on the task of helping to guard the land we love. The 4th Fighter Command of the United States Army Air Forces pays tribute to men and women like Robert Rake.
Each week, the Gordon Jenkins Orchestra and the Sportsmen join our Eyes Aloft theme song with a fighting song of some branch of the military service. Tonight, they complement the Navy. Listen to Eyes Aloft in medley with Fighting Sons of the Navy Blue.
Eyes aloft, watching the sky, watching the planes flying the lanes up above. Eyes aloft, always on guard, lending a hand, protecting the land we love. One if I land and two if I sea was once the sentinel's cry. But a modern 20th century Paul Revere must watch the sky. Eyes aloft, night and day, we'll help protect the USA. We've got the will to fight for what we know is right. Allegiance to a cause that's true. From California to the rugged, rocky coast of Maine, we're fighting sons of the Navy Blue. The ship of state sails on with battle flags unfurled. The stars and stripes come into view. We hold the beacon light of liberty for all the world. We're fighting sons of the Navy Blue. Beware, you pirates and buccaneers, we'll sail wherever we please. Take care, or Uncle Sam will never rest until he's won the freedom of the sea. But if it's war they want, we've got just what it takes to make democracy come true. We've got the ships, we've got the guns, we've got the courage too. We're fighting sons of the Navy Blue. One if I land and two if I sea was once the sentinel's cry. But a modern 20th century Paul Revere must watch the sky. Eyes aloft, night and day, we'll help protect the USA.
Since we first presented the thrilling Eyes Aloft theme, we've had hundreds of requests for copies of the song. We're glad you like it. And here is Ken Carpenter to chat with our musical director and the composer of our theme, Gordon Jenkins.
Well, Gordy, I go around half the time humming that tune to myself. It really has a catchy melody.
Well, I've dreamed up lots of melodies in my day, Ken, but I catch myself humming Eyes Aloft myself. You know my humming.
Yes, I do. Well, seriously, Gordon, how'd you get the inspiration for those swell lyrics? You wrote the lyrics and music both, didn't you?
Yeah, it was a solo job. As far as getting the inspiration for the lyrics, I think all any songwriter would have to do is to go out some night to some isolated little observation post, stand around and look up the sky and listen for that possible plane.
You did that, Gordon?
I went out and visited several different posts before I wrote the song. I wanted to get the spirit of the observers who were doing this tremendous job, and I visited a filter center, too. The people who are carrying on this job really were the inspiration.
You know, I like that line, one if by land and two if by sea was once a sentinel's cry.
Well, that's a little bit of early American history work, then.
Oh, I see. How about that modern 20th century Paul Revere must watch the skies?
Well, 150,000 of them are doing that right now on our Pacific coast.
That's right, but what we want to know, Gordon, is when is the song going to be published?
Well, I don't know, Ken. Do you think enough people are interested in buying a copy?
Well, we get a lot of mail, but then I know it takes a lot of sales to justify publication.
Well, I'm not interested in making any money on the song. As a matter of fact, I own no rights to the song now.
Yes, I heard what you did this week.
Well, since the 4th Fighter Command has accepted it as the official song of the Aircraft Warning Service, I've signed over title, all rights, any profits that may result from its possible publication. That's the way I want it to be. Is other people are donating their services. What I did is little enough.
All right, now, Gordon, we're going to say thanks to you for writing such a swell song, and then I'm going to explain to the folks about the rest of your plan. How about it, people, a good hand for composer Jenkins? Now, we're asking all those who are interested in securing a copy of the song Eyes Aloft to drop us a penny postcard. Now, understand, your card is not an order. We merely want to find out how many people would like to be able to go into their local music store and buy the published song. If enough of you respond, as we have every reason to believe, then we're almost positive the song will be published and distributed. And here's the really swell part. All profits from the song will go to build one or more observation towers for communities who have poor post facilities and deserve help. If you're interested in the song Eyes Aloft, just drop a postcard to Eyes Aloft, care of the radio station to which you are now listening. But do it right away. All right, now, Gain Whitman, let's get on with the show.
Once again, we present one of our features, the McKinley Diary. Excerpts from the little notebook written by observers at the McKinley, Oregon Post. A post located in the geographical center of the Pacific Coast area. A post which seems to typify the spirit of the Ground Observer Corps. Indian summer has come to the little valley mountain. Mornings are crisp, days warm and languid, early evenings serene with a soft, low-hanging haze of fall. Through the valley there is a feeling of peace and contentment. Peace? Oh, but the people of the valley know better. They know that the nation is at war, and that they are an integral part of the nation's war. In the valley, many a service flag hangs from the farmhouse windows. A new flag will go up soon now. For last Friday, T.S. Easton, one of the original observers of McKinley Post, went to Portland to take his oath and become a member of the Army. Mr. Easton served in the Aero Squadron in the First World War. And here inside the little unpainted post building, see, here on the table, is the now famous diary. We'll turn a page, find the last entry made by Mr. Easton. Here we are.
September 21st, 1942. Monday, 1 a.m. Goodbye. Tonight, I am spending my last long watch at the observation post. For soon I am leaving to follow the urge of the call that entices me most. My friends will cheer and my enemies jeer at the impulse that drives me along. And only time can tell if I'm right or if, perchance, I am wrong. The men and the women who watch through the night, the observers who watch through the day, are certain their country is still in the right and will win in the ultimate fray. But soldiers are needed to strike at the foe, are needed for patching the plains, and I must respond to my country's call, though leaving my loved ones' pains. I am hoping that someone will volunteer to watch through the hours I've filled, lest an enemy flight bring destruction and fright to hearts that soon may be chilled. My sorrow at leaving my own loved ones, I only am able to tell. Tonight, I am spending my last long watch. So McKinley Post, farewell. T.S. Easton.
Now for our last true life story of the evening. It is the night of July 14th. The observation post atop a brick building located on Land's End, the rocky promontory that juts itself into the turbulent ocean waters at the entrance of the Golden Gate. Two observers, Sal Argento and Bill Stappenhorst, were on duty. The night was cold, densely foggy. Foghorns wailed their ominous calls into the night. Suddenly, At exactly 2:30 a.m., the two observers were surprised to hear the rattle of machine guns down below them and toward the beach.
Hey, what's that noise, Bill?
Why, it's machine gun fire.
Oh, and they have a cop.
What you mean, Sal?
Machine guns. Maybe the Japs are flying in to attack San Francisco, eh?
Hey, maybe that's it. We got a report right away.
Oh, they're coming in by boat, I guess. They established a beachhead right down below us here.
Yeah, we could be mistaken about this. I don't hear any airplanes.
Oh, we could be mistaken, yeah, but I don't think so, though. Make that report, Bill.
Yeah.
Nobody's just to go around shooting machine guns off in the middle of the night without meaning some business. It's the Japs, I bet you.
Yeah, I think that... Hello. Army Flash. No, wait.
What's the matter, Bill?
Listen, operator. This is 23 Duke 91. Now, this is something special. Machine guns down below us on the beach. Yeah, let me talk to an officer. No. We aren't reporting an airplane. Yeah, transfer my call.
Well, what happened? You going to talk to an Army officer? Get him? Oh, good.
Yeah, this is different. You can't tell some filter operator. Machine guns, high, heard, northwest. Hello? Yeah. Okay, Lieutenant. Yeah, I'll tell you all we know.
Tell him we hear machine guns.
Well, Lieutenant, we're sitting here, and we hear all of a sudden the machine guns start shooting.
Tell him it's a commando raid. They're landing down on the beach, maybe.
Now, Lieutenant, we think the Japs may be trying to establish a beachhead right down below us. Okay. Yeah. Now, we'll stick right here. Yes, Lieutenant. Goodbye.
What did the Army say, Bill?
Now, let's check it once.
Hey, you listen to that. It's a machine gun.
Yeah. It's closer this time.
Hey, maybe one of us should have slipped down over there and try to see what we can see, eh?
No, Lieutenant ordered whoever was on duty here not to leave the post.
Oh, we got it. That sense we wouldn't have both go. Oh, I take it this time. Hello? Yes, Major. Were they just to shoot again? No, we don't want to make any mistake. Positively, we hear a machine gun twice. Last time, much closer. Maybe they're coming up the cliff now, huh? Yeah, you bet. We stick right here on duty, Major. Okay, Major. Goodbye, Major.
Who was that?
I don't know. It was some major, he says, some head guy. He says they get right on it and investigate. He says we turn in the only report so far.
Well, Sal, I think we're going to see some action.
Well, maybe we hear it, but maybe we don't get to see or nothing. Doggone a fog. Hey, you hear?
Yeah, what think about that? It's a machine gun, all right.
Doggone a dirty little yellow Jap. I'll have to get my hands on him myself, I tell you what. They come here to shoot at America. Dirty little yellow Jap.
In the next few minutes, the phone in the observation post was kept busy. Immediately, Army intelligence called for a report. Quickly following was a call from Navy intelligence. Less than 15 minutes later, the observers, Carl Argento and Bill Stappenhorst, heard the voices of men in the distance, heard the arrival of equipment, but through the fog, they could see nothing.
By golly, that Army, she got here quick, eh?
Yeah, you're telling me.
Hey, let those Japs know who is trying to act smart.
You hear that? A cannon.
You telling to me, huh? Give them everything down there, soldiers.
Our boys are starting to blast into those little yellow bellies.
Oh, they're only over here just a little way.
Yeah, maybe we'll get a shot right through our observation post.
Well, let them shoot. We hear everything and see nothing.
Now, let them have both barrels, Army. You take care of them.
4 minutes after 3 a.m. I've got to remember that hour, so I tell my grandchildren I hear first the shot of Jap attacking the United States. That dirty little yellow Jap.
Not once did Carl Argento and Bill Stappenhorst think of leaving the observation post unattended. They knew their duty, and they remained, taking the phone calls that came rolling in for more information. At 3:55, all of a sudden, emergency lights flared up on the rocky hillside, but the fog was almost impenetrable.
Hey, Bill, look down there. Can't see much, but it's much better with those lights on.
Yeah. Well, where'd the lights come from?
Well, how should we know? The Army bring them, maybe. Hey, look, a lot of men running around. By golly, they know what they are doing, all right. They sure go into action fast, Bill.
All through the night, Stappenhorst and Argento remained faithfully at their posts. Finally, a murky dawn came, and at 6 a.m., they were relieved by the next watch.
Hey, you fellas hear what happened tonight?
No, what happened, Saul?
The Japs tried to land right down below us here.
Yeah, we made the report. The Army arrived.
And there was a bunch of trucks and guns.
Are you two guys dreaming?
It's the truth. We didn't see any Army trucks or guns.
Well, they left or went to some other place, I guess.
You birds aren't trying to give us a scare.
Hey, look, I trust in my heart. I'd shake your hand. I'd do anything to make you believe the Japs tried to make a raid on our landing tonight.
We called the Army, I tell you. They were here before we could hang up the phone almost. Well, I'll be doggone.
Looks like we're right in the middle of things. Hey, maybe this aircraft warning service was kind of needed after all.
By golly, I go home and see my family so they won't be worried about me. Come on, Bill, let's get the car and go back to the city, eh?
You don't want to walk down to the cliff and take a look, Sal?
Well, if that army of ours is down there fighting, they don't want us civilians getting in the way. We better not get too curious. Come on, Bill, let's go back to the city.
Back in San Francisco at about 7 o'clock, Bill Steppenhorst pulled the car up alongside the curb on Market Street to let Sal Argento out. Paper boys called wildly.
Hey, wait 1 minute, Bill. I'll buy a paper. Maybe tell all about our raid, eh? Hey, boy, paper. Hey, over here.
Hey, bring this in.
What's it say, Sal?
Hey, look at this headline. Patrol boat ashore.
Yeah, but what about the Jap raid?
Here, let me sit down a minute and look.
What? Well, that's a flashlight picture of the boat up on the shore.
Oh, it says Land's End. That's where we were. I mean, that's where it was. I mean, it's
now, hold the paper still, Sal. Let me read. In fog early this morning, a patrol boat was washed onto the shoals at Land's End. A captain fired machine gun shots as a signal for help. A Coast Guard boat arrived within the hour and fired its lifeline cannon and brought the crew to safety. Complete story on page 3. Well, I'll be doggone.
Well, how do you like that? No jobs, eh? Hey, maybe we didn't do so much after all, eh?
Oh, wait a minute, Sal. They might have been Japs. We were ready for them. We made the report.
Oh, I don't know. Well, maybe we did a pretty good job after all, eh? You know, sometime we might really call up and report those dirty little yellow jobs, eh? Who knows?
Yes, Sal Argento and Bill Steppenhorst had been on guard, ready to warn if it had been a Jap raid. Actually, they made the report that sent the Army into action to check the situation. The Army, in turn, immediately notified the Coast Guard of the shipwreck, and help was sent in time so that not a single life was lost. Most important, Sal Argento and Bill Steppenhorst stuck to their jobs, stayed at their posts, proved loyal and dependable in the face of what appeared to be an actual enemy invasion. And that's the spirit back of the entire aircraft warning service.
Each week, we present the National Broadcasting Company's Eyes Aloft Gold Trophy Award to some outstanding observation post or filter center. Here now is Captain Smith to make this week's presentation. Captain Smith.
This week, we proudly present the Eyes Aloft Gold Trophy Award to that loyal group of men who operate the Land's End San Francisco Observation Post. It is a post with an enviable record for high efficiency. It is manned entirely by men who served in the last war, who take their responsibility seriously. Again, this group of men prove their value to their country, this time in the role of volunteer civilian soldiers. The 4th Fighter Command salutes the Land's End observers.
This is Gain Whitman saying goodnight to the 150,000 Aircraft Warning Service volunteer citizens who keep constant vigil of our home front so that America will be safe from any attack by air. Good night.
Eyes Aloft is written and produced by Robert L. Redd. Music is composed and conducted by Gordon Jenkins. This is Ken Carpenter, charging you to always remember, Eyes Aloft. Remember, if you want our theme song published, drop a postcard to Eyes Aloft, care of the station to which you are listening. Eyes Aloft has come to you from Hollywood. This is the National Broadcasting Company.